Okay. I'd say we've got about 10, 12 minutes, and then we'll begin.
Testing, 1, 2. Do you hear me? You hear me? Test. Yeah, maybe make your volume louder. Testing. Test. Here. Yeah, I hear you. Carol was using it, and I need my Sony Pro connection was using it. But you know, I got an adapter, so I can up that.
I knew I recognized that.
How are you, sir? Nice to see you. How's everything? How you been? Not bad. Nice to see you in the city. You still covered Long Jersey?
No, actually, I'm more in the city now.
Oh, you are? Good.
Yeah.
No, I'm busy.
Yep. Hi.
Are you going to be removing this when you're
Yes.
done? Perfect. Okay. Appreciate it.
Yes, yes.
I just want to make sure.
Now, I was just planning on leaving it right there, so it would annoy you. No, I'm just joking, man. No, because I need two of these to get back.
No problem. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
everyone. We're probably about 5 minutes out. I just want to go through a quick rundown of who you'll expect to hear from today. So first, you'll have United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton, followed by First Assistant United States Attorney Michael Considine. Then you'll have Christopher Rea, FBI New York Assistant Director in Charge. You'll have Harry Chavez Jr., Special Agent in Charge, International or IRS Criminal Investigation. Then you'll have Ricky J. Patel from Homeland Security Investigations in New York. Then we'll have a brief signing ceremony over here, followed by some on-topic Q&A. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone need anything before we kick it off? Great. Does this help, Stephen? Actually? Okay. All right, everyone. We'll see you in about 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ricky Patel. I'm the Special Agent in charge for Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, here in New York. It is an honor to come together to announce what can only be described as a historic day for law enforcement collaboration in New York City. As announced by the President on October 23, 2025, establishing Homeland Security Task Forces, or HSTFs, around the country, today you will hear from my colleagues and I about the formation of the HSTF here in New York, which is co-led by HSI and the FBI with significant collaboration and coordination by the U.S. Attorney's offices in the Eastern District and Southern District of New York, as well as nearly all law enforcement agencies here in the Empire State. This task force is the first of its kind, using a whole-of-government approach. Through a unified framework, the HSTFs serve as a model for protecting the homeland from evolving threats presented by transnational organized crime. The mission of the HSTF is to identify and target for prosecution transnational criminal organizations engaged in diverse criminal schemes involving a myriad of federal violations both within the United States and throughout the world. Violations include, but are not limited to, drug trafficking, money laundering, weapons trafficking, human trafficking, homicide, extortion, kidnapping, and other TCO-related violations where there is or may be a federal investigative interest. The HSTF represents the power of partnership, combining federal, state, and local resources to address these threats more effectively than any agency can alone. With me today, we have leaders from some of the partner agencies that comprise the HSTF New York. The Internal Revenue Service Criminal Investigation Division, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Diplomatic Security Service, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, and the United States Secret Service. First, you will hear from some of the leaders behind the formation of the HSTF New York. We will then have a brief signing ceremony followed by on-topic questions and the opportunity for pull-aside interviews. And now, I would like to turn it over to Jay Clayton, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York.
Thank you, Rick. Good afternoon. Today's announcement of our whole-of-government commitment to Homeland Security is, at its core, about public safety for all New Yorkers. New Yorkers want public safety. They want our parks, schools, subways, and streets to be both safe places and places that feel safe for our families, our children, and our visitors. At the Southern District, across the Justice Department, and across law enforcement with our federal and state partners, we hear what New Yorkers want, and we are laser focused on delivering it for them. Crime is down, but it is still way above where it should be, particularly for our most vulnerable. And that's really what this is all about. It's about delivering public safety for the most vulnerable people in New York. It's down because of the hard work of the men and women behind me. Let me give you a few highlights over the last year. Our agencies have collectively investigated and charged murders, shootings, stabbings, sex trafficking, and narcotics distribution by Tren de Aragua, TDA, and many other brutally violent gangs. We've charged over a dozen narco-terrorists and members of state-sponsored drug cartels. We've charged multiple people with fentanyl distribution and precursor production. Gun charges, federal gun charges, are being brought at twice the rate of previous years. And most recently, we had a wide sweep of narcotics trafficking in and around Washington Square Park. The Washington Square Park effort exemplifies what we can do with a whole of law enforcement approach to public safety. A few data points. From 2020 to 2023 alone, more than 10,000 people died of fatal drug poisoning in New York City. Washington Square Park was an epicenter of this crisis. During that period, the NYPD and medical personnel responded to over 65 reports of apparent overdoses in the park. With the great men and women of the New York Police Department, the DEA, and our other federal partners, those days are behind us. This is an example that we're going to follow going forward. We look forward to making New York safer each and every day for every person in New York. I'm now going to introduce Mike Considine, the first assistant from the Eastern District of New York. Mike?
Thank you, Jay. Good afternoon. As Jay mentioned, I'm Mike Considine, first Assistant U.S. Attorney in Brooklyn. The United States Attorney, Mr. Nacella, is on sick leave today and sends his regrets for not being with his esteemed HSTF partners. This historic collaboration occurring with this task force strengthens our mission to defend the citizens of our districts from the transnational criminal organizations, which Jay mentioned, human smugglers, and cyber criminals who inflict tremendous damage to our country. And we've already seen remarkable results. For example, our office is prosecuting the infamous cartel leader, RCQ, Rafael Caro Quintero, who is charged with the murder of DEA agent Kiki Camarano. What's more, our collective efforts have led to the conviction of El Mayo, Ismael Zambada Garcia, co-founder of the Sinaloa cartel. He operated a continuing criminal enterprise that trafficked massive quantities of fentanyl, cocaine, and other drugs into the United States. Lastly, we are working to cut off alternate revenue streams for the Jalisco cartel, designated as a foreign terrorist organization. And to that end, we charge 2 individuals, Julio Cesar Montero Pinzon and Carlos Andre Rivera Varela, with providing material terrorism support through a sprawling timeshare fraud scheme targeting American citizens. A wanted poster depicting these defendants is being released today. We would be remiss if we did not also express our appreciation for all of our agency partners, those here today and those who could not be with us. We are all collectively committed to improving the quality of life for our citizens by dismantling these corrupt organizations from their very top. I may now turn over the podium to Chris Rea, Assistant Director in charge of the FBI New York Field Office.
All right, thank you, Mike. Again, I'm Christopher Rea. I'm the Assistant Director of the FBI's New York Field Office. Today, along with my colleagues, I'm proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with other federal, state, and local partners to announce the first of its kind regional New York Homeland Security Task Force. This new team was created as a deliberate response to the growing threat posed by transnational criminal enterprises and foreign terrorist organizations. And quite frankly, it's initiatives like this and this task force that have contributed to the drastic decrease in violent crime, not only here in New York City, but across the country. FBI New York has a long history disrupting gangs and other sophisticated criminal groups, specifically cartels. The threat we face today is more complex, more violent, and more interconnected than ever. Utilizing our proven Joint Terrorism Task Force model, which as you know is one of the most accomplished and renowned task force models in history, we are bringing the full force of the federal, state, and local government to bear against the threat by combining operational and intelligence capabilities. Additionally, with the new authorities and investigative tools granted to us after the designation of the most violent drug cartels and transnational gangs as foreign terrorist organizations, or FTOs, we will systematically and methodically dismantle these enterprises who are responsible for the pervasive trafficking of lethal drugs and weapons into our communities. Since standing up the New York HSTF earlier this year, our agents, analysts, and professional staff got right to work, and their hard work is already paying massive dividends. Today, I would like to share with you just 2 of the multiple high-level cases our New York HSTF have been involved in. The first one, in August 2025, our office coordinated with the Southern District of New York to charge and arrest 7 leaders and members of a violent Mexico-based drug trafficking organization for the alleged trafficking of firearms and smuggling dozens of kilograms of cocaine, meth, and fentanyl into this country. Their alleged criminality plagued our communities, even jeopardizing innocent bystanders with public rivalry shootings. Secondly, as Official Assistant U.S. Attorney Considine mentioned, we are seeking information for 2 high-ranking leaders of CJNG, the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Our FBI DEA Trident Directorate has aggressively utilized those new authorities that I just mentioned, which had been previously only authorized under national security cases and or JTTF, against the new FTO designation of CJNG. As mentioned earlier, Carlos Andres Rivera Varela and Julio Cesar Montero Pinzon are wanted for allegedly providing material support to a foreign terrorist organization and money laundering conspiracy. If you recognize those charges, that foreign terrorist charge, that's a charge that until now had only been available to charge through our JTTF. And now, due to the new authorities that have been granted to us, we can now charge that charge under a foreign terrorist organization. These fugitives allegedly funneled profits from a complex fraud scheme to finance CJNG in support of drug trafficking and other crimes. If you have any information related to either of these subjects, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at fbi.tips.gov. Additionally, the FBI is offering a reward of up to $245,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of these fugitives. I would like to personally thank SAC Patel and SAC Chavis, as well as all the participating agencies, for their commitment to combating the persistent cartel threat and the drug distribution network. And thank you to U.S. Attorneys Clayton and U.S. Attorney Nacella for your aggressive prosecution of these critical cases. These judicial successes directly translate into taking bad guys off of our streets. Through unified partnership, we will continue to defend the homeland from evolving threats, safeguard critical infrastructure, and strengthen national resilience. Now, I'd like to introduce the SAC of New York Internal Revenue Services Criminal Investigation, Harry Chavis.
Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon. My name is Harry Chavis, the Special Agent in charge of IRS Criminal Investigations, New York Field Office. Special agents with IRS Criminal Investigation have long been known for lending their financial and tax expertise to complex investigations. We are proud to have entered into this agreement with the New York Homeland Security Task Force as a partner and as the third agency on the executive committee. With this agreement, our special agents will continue to proactively leverage our knowledge and unique skills for the betterment of this new team. Whether it's money laundering, Bank Secrecy Act violations, a complex financial fraud, or leveraging our tax authority, we will continue working in tandem with all the agencies under the Homeland Security Task Force umbrella to take criminals off the street and to dismantle transnational criminal organizations. Today, when you hear the word task force, I want you to think camaraderie. I want you to think of a space created specifically for special agents, officers, and analysts from multiple agencies to have the opportunity to become one cohesive unit. As law enforcement agencies, we may often deconflict with each other, share information. and cooperate on investigations. But what we don't normally do is sit side by side, cubicle to cubicle, in the same space. The New York Homeland Security Task Force will provide such an opportunity. As our special agents collaborate, they will learn from each other, harnessing respective expertise and experience, essentially creating a cross-pollination of skills where the investigation is built using the collective strength of the entire team. After 24 years with IRS criminal investigation, I can honestly say that I have been around long enough to know that when our dedicated law enforcement professionals coalesce around a common goal, this system will work. And I am honored to stand here today with my partners to announce the creation of the New York Homeland Security Task Force and to serve the greatest city in the world. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to bring to the podium Special Agent in Charge Ricky Patel, HSI, New York.
Thanks, Harry. So again, a prolific narcotics trafficker accused of funneling cocaine, methamphetamine, and deadly fentanyl to some of the world's most notorious cartels. The reputed, alleged leader of one of the fastest emerging transnational criminal organizations, now a foreign terrorist organization, to encroach upon American soil. And the gangs and cartels behind the most violent, most inhumane crimes one can imagine. These are some of the people and organizations that HSI, through and with the HSTF New York, are targeting. In a city like New York, the presence of such threats and their ties to the Big Apple is simply unavoidable. The people of this great city deserve to know that criminal investigators at every level of law enforcement are standing side by side and collaborating under one roof, so that New Yorkers may enjoy their lives safely. This historic, unified collaboration of sharing of resources has already been in motion behind the scenes, and some of HSI's most recent major successes and investigative milestones were made thanks to the collaboration and the hard work of the HSTF and our partners who stand behind me. Just to highlight a few, in October, HSI arrested prolific drug kingpin Ji Dong Jung, also known as ZDC or Brother Wang, marking a decisive blow against the ruthless criminal enterprises responsible for funneling poison onto our nation's streets. That investigation by HSI, the DEA, and the Eastern District of New York uncovered that the defendants' alleged actions on behalf of the Sinaloa cartel and CGNG have bolstered the operations of transnational criminal organizations responsible for fueling an overdose epidemic, spreading violence, and destabilizing communities across the United States and beyond. Time and time again, we have blazed trails with our unprecedented law enforcement actions, including RICO charges against Tren de Aragua, TDA, or known as TDA, members and associates, for allegedly committing multiple other violent terroristic attacks. Just weeks ago, HSI New York and the Southern District of New York secured the nation's first guilty plea of a TDA gang member for racketeering. And we are relentlessly driving new efforts that will bring life-changing, life-saving impact, such as HSI's active investigation into Nino Guerrero, the reputed leader of TDA, who grew TDA from a Venezuela-based prison gang to the vile, vicious foreign terrorist organization it has become. Our efforts in combating TDA are ongoing and unyielding. HSI and the HSTF New York are driving coordinated investigations that strike at the heart of criminal networks. Yesterday alone, in breaking news, HSI within the HSTF seized 30,000 fentanyl pills in a takedown operation with an arrest. And separately, another arrest where 7 kilos of fentanyl were seized in a tractor-trailer vehicle stop. The Southern District of New York is prosecuting both of these investigations. With unity as our strength and coordination as our advantage, we will outpace, outsmart, and outmaneuver transnational criminal organizations at every turn. This is our commitment. This is our promise. It is iconic that we are holding this press conference in the HIDTA-led Gun Violence Strategies Partnership space. It's known as the GVSP, the epitome of partnership. where over 3,500 individuals have been reviewed in this space who are repeatedly involved in gun violence. These are people who hurt people. Every morning, about 2 to 3 people are looked at by law enforcement agencies within New York City. Today marked the 1,038th meeting in a row. This is the same location where the core HSTF now sits, so everyone works together and everyone comes together. It's all about partnership. In closing, separately, each law enforcement agency before you is unmatched at what we do. Together, we are simply unstoppable. I'd like to thank you for being here, and now I'd like to invite the speakers to join me in signing a memorandum of understanding which signifies the full implementation of the HSTF here in New York.
Jason, brief on-topic questions. Please direct your questions toward the agency head of the task item. Dr. Morales, you see anything?
Hi guys, I guess this is for anybody who could speak to this, but I had a question about the foreign terrorism charge. Would you say that this is sort of the #1 tool that the organization has to go after some of these people? And can you talk about the weight of such a charge? And lastly, do you know how many times that charge has been issued in the country and just in here, in New York?
So I don't have the date on the number of times that it's been issued. It is a very powerful tool that we have. When you can take people off the streets for 20 and 30 years, that charge, I'll also note the death resulting statutes that we have, where if you're dealing fentanyl and it results in someone's death, that we have, I would say, appropriately severe criminal penalties in terms of incarceration. Yes, it gets those people off the streets, but it does something else. It forces cooperation. When someone's facing that kind of time, they're more willing to cooperate with us and extend our investigations. When someone doesn't face serious criminal time, their incentive to cooperate is very low. And it's something that's very important that we bring these charges federally.
Jay, while you're there, first of all, is the PD involved in the task force? And then, Jay, you had said something about federal gun charges being brought at a rate. I didn't quite catch the superlatives.
Yeah, well, I don't want it to be a superlative. It's a focus.
Sure.
And we are bringing federal gun charges at about twice the rate that we have previously. And that's to answer your first question, that's in cooperation with not only our federal law enforcement partners, but the New York Police Department. And the New York Police Department is, let me just be clear, they're essential to our success in this endeavor. And we're here with them every day.
You can't really operate in the city without.
No, they are the best police force in the world.
Does the bringing of the federal gun charges at a higher rate, does that reflect a weakness in local gun laws?
Oh, I don't know if it reflects a weakness. There's certainly a delta in local gun laws, and I think the people of New York want gun-toting criminals, people who shoot people off the streets. And there are many instances where our federal tools accomplish that, not only at the time of charging with detention, but also in sentencing. Like one of the biggest, Chauncey, I'm looking at you, one of the biggest drivers of safety is getting detention when we pick somebody up. And if they commit a violent crime with a gun in New York, they should be detained.
A number of these task forces that have been set up, when
So, to answer your question, HSTFs are set up to, like we all spoke about, target the transnational criminal organizations, right? And we're looking at the criminal violations that they exist with. Now, if there is immigration-related violations that we come across while we're doing these investigations, of course, it is a federal violation, it is a federal crime. We will take action when needed, but these task forces are strictly stated and created to target the worst of the worst.
Just follow up on Aaron's question on state, county, and local police departments. Are they going to be participants and members of this task force?
Yeah, Jonathan, yeah, I mean, to what Jay said, I mean, we cannot operate in the city without them, and we cannot be an effective task force without them sitting with us, ingrained with us, being part of the investigation. They bring so much to the table, the local knowledge, some of their authorities that we don't necessarily have. Sometimes it's easier to start on a state case through them and then roll that later into a federal case. So short answer to your question is, Jonathan, yes, 100%. They will be ingrained, they will be sitting with us, and they will be involved in every aspect of this task force.
Thank you all.
How you doing? Frank, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, John. I might have gotten it.
They probably put it out. They probably put it out. Just in case.